Well, welcome to our new episode of Spitfire. This is episode, I want to say 15?
15? Imagine.
15.
We've actually got 15 of these out without getting fired or something.
I know, it's almost becoming slightly professional now. All right, well, we are going to another one. My name is Brice. I'll be kind of hosting and talking all the way through this. Of course, joining me as well will be Tunn doing production and also joining in when he feels like it. But more importantly, our guest for this week, it is, of course, Brice, better known as Rated from Red Reserve. How are you, my friend, all the way from Vegas?
Yeah, I'm good. I nearly missed it. I said I'll be. I usually wake up early, but we went out last night, so I literally woke up at 1 o'clock, which was when we were meant to do it. So
Yeah, I was lying on the sofa and I was like, I hadn't heard from
yeah,
him.
I literally messaged him 12:59. I was like, whoa, I'm awake.
I was ready to just continue napping on the sofa, but we good. I'm up. I've had my juice. I'm good to go as well.
I'm glad you're here, Reece. It's always fun to have you on the podcast or interview you or whatever we're doing, because I know I'm going to get a good kind of explanation out of you, and one that isn't kind of sugar coated in any way. So
Some good answers from me always.
yeah, I think so, and I think it kind of follows on from our theme from last week as well, because that's one of the reasons you kind of jumped in, because of some of the controversy over last week's Spitfire and the comments that came out of it and stuff, because it was one of our biggest episodes.
Yeah, 2 hours or something good enough.
Yeah, and even then we still had to rush it at parts because there was just so much to talk about.
So much.
Yeah, and then obviously me and Reedy argued for 20 minutes. So let's get straight into that one, man. Like, let's talk about the qualification from your point of view and the system, and how was it for you as a player going through it, and successfully going through it.
Just about.
Don't give me a heart attack, man.
It was. I don't know. It was stressful. It's the most stressed and the most emotions that I felt in one day that I will probably ever. Well, I will definitely ever feel in my life. Because it was just like talking about the system's like perfectly fine. Like, it's the best possible way, the most fair way.
Yeah.
But it's just shit because there's one season. Because like it just makes that one weekend so important. That it's like, like they can't play. They can't play for the rest of the year. Like, obviously there's that amateur circuit, but that's not playing. I don't care what anyone says. Like when you've been in the pro league for 5 years in a row, or however many years it's been, it's like when the only thing you can play is champs, and to get to the champs you have to play them AM events. It's just a kick in the tooth. Like, I just think if there was 2 seasons, it'd be perfect. But that's the only downfall, is that there's one season. The rest of it's like the fairest way. You had like 65 million chances to get to the league. So
I think it's probably just like because it's a big shift. We spoke about this in the last podcast. We said it's a shift. We know, and that's the argument. My argument really just like his argument was not coherent enough to put that point across at the time. And I understand why it's difficult when you're playing in that kind of environment, and it is, we talk about pro players having this, wonderful life, but there is also sacrifices involved. You do put in an awful lot of hours and a lot of stress to play this game at that level. And as anybody knows, no matter what job you do, if you do it for that long and you do it that much, and it means that much, it becomes less, a fun thing to do and more of a job. And
100%.
Nobody over time will
especially with the money
every day.
involved.
Yeah.
Like the money,
it's a lot of stress.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've never been to an event and been nervous or stressed or anything. But that Sunday was literally, like, I was literally just sat up Saturday night before the Sunday, just thinking, what the fuck are we actually gonna do if we don't qualify?
I mean,
that's like
the thing, isn't it? It's like,
and then we should have 3-0'd space in them, choke that series like absolute spastics. And then I was like, what are we actually gonna fucking do if we don't qualify?
that was what I was thinking about, because I was thinking about you boys. I was thinking about Rec, and Rec looked okay like through the most of the week, but like there was always that one.
No, yeah, even the teams who qualified, like even like 100 Thieves.
Yeah,
like
at one point, 100
MVP.
Thieves, I didn't think they were going to make it through to bracket.
They would have all just been thinking, what are we actually gonna do?
Yeah, like, but
That's all you were thinking.
Like, for those guys, like, they live at home and stuff, but for you, it's like, you like, right, I've got a house for you, everything's paid for, and you're like, what if we don't make the league? Holy shit!
It was bad.
Yeah, I was stressed, so I don't even know.
That's what I mean. Like, I've been, like, everyone knows me. I've been to like a million events now. And I've never been nervous. Not even my first event ever. I was never like nervous, worried about playing thinking about anything but the game. But that one Sunday was literally like, holy fuck. If we lose 2 more games, especially after we choked that Spacey series, I was like, bruh.
It's like life changing though. Like
No, yeah, 100%. Like everyone says, oh, you play the Amigo champs. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't like if we lost that game, I wouldn't have played probably ever again. I definitely wouldn't have played this game. So it was definitely life changing.
I think it's one of those things that people outside the pro sphere, and like I'm not a pro, Tunn's not a pro, but we understand because we speak to the players like day in, day out.
Yeah.
Of the difference it actually makes career-wise and the difference it makes just mentality-wise, yeah.
Especially this year, like even more this year, like because there's only one season. Like the few seasons before, you're like grind out a few months, get to relegation, beat the shit team who's got in. Like this year is like
and do the business in the open brackets, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean for like 2 events, but this year it's like you sat there until August.
Yeah, see you in August.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally, that's what it is. You like see you in August.
But I suppose it's something that people are going to have to just adjust to now.
Oh yeah, you can't do anything about it. Like that's the way it is. Like you moan all you want.
I can understand the stress. Like I can understand. I completely sympathize. I was sitting at home watching the PLQ, and my heart was breaking for some of these players. It's great to see new players come in, and I couldn't be happier for the new players coming in. But for the veterans, like it's like falling off a cliff. Like there's just it's just
Dylan
such a
Josh
difference.
In the league. Like what the fuck?
It's wild.
And it is one.
It comes down to playing well that weekend. Like what?
That's what I mean. That weekend was just too important. That weekend was literally just made too important.
I think the way that they structured it was absolutely fine. Like the groups.
No, yeah, it's the best structure you can ever get. You'll never get more chances to qualify.
100%.
Like even from the start of the game, I was saying if you don't qualify for the league, you're shit and you don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm. But it's a lot on one weekend.
Like,
on one weekend. Yeah. I get the complaints in that respect, but at the same time, I mean, it's the same.
I just think the wrong complaints were made.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
I don't think many people even were like. Obviously, there was a few people moaning about there was only one season, but that should have been like the only thing they were moaning about.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like, and even then, that's something that you can complain about in a reasonable fashion because, and not actually give hatred towards the system that's in place. You can be like, look, I don't like it for X reason, but I understand why it's being done. Like, I understand why it's now this way. It's very, very obvious, and it's very much looking at a franchising model.
Yeah.
Like, every time I go on Reddit, it speaks of franchising. Almost every single day, there's someone talking about it. Nothing has been confirmed. Nothing has been written in stone, except for the fact that someone lays
confirmed.
Yeah, if someone lays the foundation for a house, you don't go, "Oh, look at that! They're clearly building a swimming pool." Like, it's not something you can really kind of ignore. But no, for me, it was high stress, and I think some of the teams we spoke about it, last week. Some of the teams did crumble under the pressure. I think sometimes, with that much on stake, and it does set up your entire year, it does come through. That's the only excuse you're going to have for Lightning Pandas. Like, they just, I don't know. And it's weird to say that team crumbled. But
well, no, not really, because like their star players are all relatively.
I had a few things coming out of that camp. I had a few after they lost the first couple of games, those vibes were bad. Like really bad.
I'd say relatively new though. Like this, like Dave. Like Dave's only been Black Ops 3. That's only been a few years. Obviously, it's not. But Alex was like literally only last year.
Yeah, I suppose.
Who's the other player? Oh, Petey's fucking been around forever. That's not.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
But you would think a team like that, Josh Madcap.
No, of course.
Like, think they qualified.
It was like the game that I knew that as soon as they lost that Giants game, I was like, bro, they are fucked.
Yeah, they're in trouble
because they played Heretics, and it's like Heretics is like a 50-50 game. If you lose, you're like, yeah, they just fucking. It was just a weird game. But as soon as they lost that Giants game, the next game, I was like, whoa.
That was
you still have MV and G2 to play. It's like, whoa.
Like, you lose to Heretics, as you said. Like, Heretics, are looking pretty decent. They're one of those teams.
It's just like a game like you could lose to them every now and again.
Yeah, 100%.
So you chalk it off.
I was there when they lost to Giants, and it was just like, oh, wow, like, what is going on? Like, even like when Imperial lost to Movie Star Riders, that's another game that turned their tides in the end. And it's just these games where you're going up against opposition that you've no doubt played plenty online, that sort of thing, and then you I don't know why it's like if they played something different or the pressure just got to you. You know, I suppose on those two teams like Heretics and Movie Star Riders, there's not as much pressure. Heretics, you could argue that they've got the Spanish community behind them. They're expected to maybe make a push, but it could be pressure in that respect because you finish sixth, then you're going up against these teams. Well, if you're Lightning Pandas, of course, then you're going up against a team who finished top 16, should easily walk it. Looking at your group, you feel you should be finishing first or second, and then it gets to the point where you're losing to the team who are predicted to be finishing bottom of the pool.
I think as soon as they lost that Giants game, they just got in their own heads.
Yeah.
I feel like they lost that and were like, fucking hell, we're not going to do it. Like, and then they played someone and then lost again, and like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, it's mad for veterans like that. But let's move on. We did cover a lot of Lightning Pandas last week. I know people
are calling sympathisers.
Yeah. I am sympathetic. Of course I am. It was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen a veteran player have to go through. And the same goes for FaZe. You know, those players are not inconsequential players on the Call of Duty landscape and timeline. They just aren't.
The difference is that FaZe didn't play well at Vegas. So it was like one of those things where we said that we felt like a good team wasn't going to make it. And FaZe,
I think that was always the thing when everyone was saying which team's not going to do it.
It could have been FaZe. A lot of people were like, it could potentially.
It was like FaZe 100 Thieves, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and then everyone was saying that's because of.
Well, let's talk about Red Reserve then. Let's talk about Red Reserve, Brice. Coming into the year, a lot of people had high hopes for you. Vegas didn't work out quite the way you wanted it to, and I also heard discussion going down at Vegas of role changes again.
Well, we did. We did change roles at Vegas. I think that's what fucked us up at Vegas, to be honest. I feel like even last year we always fucking finished. Well, we didn't finish last in the group. We always got third in the group. So I feel like us changing roles at the event was probably not the best idea.
What
so we changed.
Trey, wasn't it?
Trey went to Maddox and Ben went to Stub. Our problem has always been pacing in respawns. So it's like Trey will be too slow with a sub, or he'll be challenging some shit with a sub that he shouldn't be challenging and then dying and then losing, or like Ben will be too slow. Ben and Matt together are too slow, or like it's usually always pacing is why you change roles in respawn.
Yeah.
But like I don't think we probably should have done it at the event. Like we beat who did we beat? Well, after we changed, we beat like Mind Freak, Pittsburgh Knights, and Heretics. But like big games like
this may have been. I can't remember if I heard this as well. No, I heard the one at Vegas. Did I hear about role changes again at the PLQ?
No.
No. Okay. We just if that was. It was now, or you consider them coming out.
No, it was Vegas. After Vegas, we changed back to. Well, we tried. What did we try? It might have been like different specialists. Like Joe was running grapple for a bit. Trey was running. What was Trey running? I can't remember. Trey was running Annihilator or something. Yeah, Trey was Annihilator, Joe was grapple, and that wasn't working either. And I was like, just fuck, give me Annihilator. Just get me off Crash and get me off that shit. And then
big fan of your Annihilator players. A lot of going out.
I'm pretty good with her. But so yeah, now but then after that we fixed it. We had so it was Trey and Joe sub, Ben and Matt, Maddox, me using that shit gun, and then it was just back to Trey using grapple, Joe using Crash, Ben Tempest, Matt War Machine. I think that was the big change. Matt was obviously Tempest at Vegas and everything he was discussing with it. I think when Matt used War Machine and I used Annihilator, I think that has improved our respawn a lot.
Yeah, I would argue that Matt was probably the best War Machine player I've seen in the event.
Yeah, when we were talking, because me and Joe obviously make all the decisions because them are fucking the babies of the team. When we were talking about it, I was like, I don't know, like because Matt will tell you himself, he just in games he just zones out. Like he'll go quiet for a minute, and the next thing you're a sniper's nest inbound. Like, I'm not even joking. Like I'm like, who's are they got a sniper nest? And Matt's like, no, it's mine. All right, nice one, mate. Yeah, I didn't even know you were closer streaks. Could have baited for you.
I think somebody put up the stats today. I know they weren't totally accurate because of I think he missed out a percentage, but his was second at like a 1.44, but his was over 36 maps. Yeah. I was like, Christ.
But yeah, like Matt goes quiet, so like, and obviously like the cluster, like, and he was like when he zones out. So when he used to use trophies, and like I'd have to tell him every time, use a trophy, use a trophy, use a trophy. But like obviously with the clusters a bit different because like I can't tell him like throw your cluster bloody because I'm not looking at his screen, so I don't know when's best. But like he surprised me. He's really good with it. So I think that helped our team a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the same as last year. Like we're literally unreal. Well, not yet. Our S&D is shit at the moment, and that's why series are close. But our respawn's unreal. It's literally unreal. Like top level. Like we will beat Optic in respawns. But like it's the same as last year. We just fucking choked. Stupid situations that we constantly speak about in scrims, and then after the game, the same thing. Like, oh yeah, it's my bad. I'm sorry, but I'll do it. And it's like you've been saying it for fucking 3 months. Like, what do you mean you'll do it? Like, it's so frustrating. It's like we're making ourselves look fucking shit when we know full well.
Well, I think that was one of the big things that came out of the PLQ, right? Is people were like, what is going on with this team? And admittedly, the pacing thing was one of the things that came out because you wouldn't be the first team to suffer from this issue with a game change and struggling in that kind of regard. Because a few of your teammates got what I could say was quite, and I think including yourself at some points, quite an unfavorable review from the community.
I had a 1.12. What are people talking about? I have the ICR. What do you want me to get?
I think the G2 S&D might stick out a little bit.
Oh yeah, but that actually. Yeah. D1 out. Matt was 1-off streaks, and Ben stopped shooting someone in the back, got turned on, we lost the round.
Yeah.
So we would have been 4-1 up with streaks.
Mm-hmm. It was more, I think, the people that came on most under fire on your team from the PLQ that I saw was Joe, who always gets it in the neck if you lose.
Nah, to be fair, it was Ben.
Really well.
Yeah, and Ben was going to be the second player. I know Tunn.
Joe. Ben was definitely getting the most slack. Joe didn't get much slack. Joe was buzzing. Joe was like, I've faked it. I've gone on Reddit, and they're all roasting Ben. They're not even telling me to get dropped.
Like I remember, I was sitting in the green room, and I can't remember who you were playing, but it was somebody pretty decent, and I was like, Joe's got full streaks. It's like,
it's because
he played a good event.
On Arsenal and Hacienda, Joe uses a Maddox.
Yeah, so I noticed he was changing.
So we use 3 Maddox, 1 sub. So like Joe doesn't think I'm onto him, but I'm onto him. So that's what boosts his KDs. Like, but to be fair, Joe I think this was like a 0.98 or a 0.97 or something, and his S&D was fucking shit that weekend. Yeah. So he would have actually got over a 1 for the first time in his life, I think, if his S&D wasn't bad.
I honestly, I thought he played really well in respawn.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know why.
Obviously, the player with the most.
Everyone just gives Joe slack because he's like, oh yeah, he's Reese's bum boy. He's never gonna get a drop. Wait. People think that I fucking run the team. Do you not think if Matt, Trey, and Ben come to me and said, right, we need to get rid of Joe, I have enough power to be like, shut the fuck up. I do have that power. I do actually have that power, but like. If the other 3 come to me and said, right, we need to get rid of Joe, like, there's no way I can be like, no. You 3 just shut up. I run the team, thank you very much. But like, people think that I just keep Joe, like I'm saving Joe. Like, you can ask everyone on the team what Joe brings to the team, and they'd all tell you exactly what I tell you. So it's not. People need to get rid of that. Thing that I fucking keep Joe.
That was what I was, because I alluded to this in a tweet I put out afterwards, saying some of the community voices that I've seen calling for various droppages in places and trying to pick up some slay heavy player. I was like, it may work with some players. I went, but you have no idea how it will impact the team chemistry. You have no idea how it will work. You have no idea behind the scenes a lot of the time how these players are personality wise, unless you see them on the stream somewhere. Some of them are just not going to help your team's grind. Like, sometimes you need that team to play together, and the player's not clicking in that regard, or he's late to get to a practice or something. It affects the whole team so much more. Which is why teams are very careful picking up players. Mm-hmm. You've got to make sure that player is right for you. If you get it wrong, you can mess up an event, or mess up your entire year. So, thing that people were going on in, but Bance really did catch it in the neck, including from Tunn.
I mean, look, I didn't put him on blast. I just said, I just thought that everyone else on that team, they had their moments. I just thought that Ben had a poor event, and I thought if you were to make a change, that would have made more sense to me than anybody else on the team. I think that was my thing more than anything. But as I said at the end of it, once the whole fallout happened after he called me a fucking idiot. After that, I did say, look, at the end of the day, you guys know more about your team than I do, and always will. You know the internals, you know what's going on.
Like I said, what's wrong. Well, our respawn is absolutely disgusting. Besides the fucking shitty chokes, but like them shitty chokes will fucking disappear eventually. Yeah. It's the same as last year. We got to a point where they disappeared and nobody could get close to us, like on hard points especially. So like our respawn was really good that weekend, and we were still making a choke. So like our hard point was 12-6, and we went 9-1 in control.
Is it just the pace of the game? Like
no, like that's what I mean. We fixed all that. It's literally just shitty chokes. Like against Spacely, we were 2-0 up in that control. Like when you're attacking B, all you need to do is get your subs or like 2 people in that 18, and then I'll sit watching
Gridlock.
Gridlock. Okay. Yeah, when you're attacking B, you just need to get to the 18, so then everyone else can focus on the right. But like the situation was, Trey went to the pillar, and instead of just helping Joe at the 18, he just stood there, looking boxes, doing nothing. And if he got to the 18, we would have won that map 3-0, being up 2-1, full momentum.
Was that the only control you lost?
Yeah, that was literally the only control we lost all weekend, and we were 2-0 up, 4 sets of streaks, 4 specialists.
Because I remember somebody some good team kept picking Arsenal against you, and I don't think I've ever seen you lose a round of Arsenal control.
Yeah,
at this point.
I think since Vegas we've lost 2 rounds or something like that.
It was the Maddie went 18-0 in one of them.
They literally last 5 minutes as well. Like we just win the first attack, win the next defense. We have specialists and streaks. Goodbye.
But the thing is now are people not going to start picking up on what you do on that map, and things are going to change from there.
Yeah, but then we know that they're doing. We know people, and then we just like in a bit. We'll go to the other side.
Well, something I actually wanted to talk about. Something that's not as well publicized as some other teams. You have a coach.
Yeah.
A very well respected coach from anybody who knows who it is. Dominate, for the people listening to this, and obviously because Dominate's never been like the loud brash guy some of his other coaches are, or a really big public face.
Yeah.
How is he helping in the background and having him on board, kind of working with you guys?
Well, yeah, he's good. Like I see a few people saying like I'll just get a different coach, or like what does our coach actually bring, blah blah. But like if he didn't bring anything, we wouldn't have kept him on from World War II, would we? Like
yeah.
But yeah, he's really good. It's like last year was more like he came in like halfway through. We were already unreal, and we like knew everything about the game. Like so, he was never going to come in and be like, "Oh, you should do this instead," because obviously, we knew what we were doing last year. Like completely, like knew the game fully, probably more than every team bar one maybe. And so like last year, he was more just like watching VODs of other teams and telling us what they do more than telling us what to do and what we should be doing. At the start of this year, he was just like helping with like, so when we'd spawn somewhere, it means they're here, kind of thing. Or if we're pushing this, we make them spawn here, etc., etc. And then obviously you watch VODs on other teams and stuff. Where he's been good. He's been great.
So
he's a good guy.
Yeah, is he more like doing like the legwork for watching VODs, so you sort of don't have
that
sort of thing?
That's because like before he joined last year, it would be like I'd stay up till 5 a.m. before we play the next day. Getting everyone's VODs.
Yeah.
It just wasn't realistic if I was to keep doing that. But yeah, like he helped us at the start of this year, like just know where people are going to be on the map constantly. And it was good. Really helpful.
I just thought it was interesting because to some casual fans, they probably wouldn't know.
Yeah, they wouldn't know him.
Dominate was there in the background the entire time.
He used to play as well. Like he was. It's not like.
Yeah. He won. Was it the last land he won was AW? Like he won. I think he won the first land of AW.
Yeah, the first night series. Yeah.
So like he is an ex-pro. So I just thought it was good to hire because I'm a big fan of Dom anyway.
He just chills. He's not like a loud character like you said. He's just chills in the background. Just doesn't really care.
Yeah, and obviously, and that's the other thing I suppose. Like when you look at some of the other teams like Reciprocity, Shane. Is the
complete opposite. Everyone knows Shane, so if you think of Shane, Dom is the complete opposite of Shane in terms of the loud, bubbly character type.
Yeah. And obviously, they've been put out a fair amount of content as well that Shane's been in, so they kind of everyone recognizes him as a coach. But you guys have also moved out to America, to Vegas. How has that affected the team now that you're all in each other's kind of area at the same time? Like there's very little downtime for you guys now.
Well, like everyone knows, like our team's probably the best chemistry wise. Like we're all just like, really good friends. Best. Like, it's nearly impossible to have bad vibes with Matt on the team because he just says some dumb shit and you're just all laughing at him. So it's just like Like yeah, like we're all like really good friends. Like we've all been friends for years. Like everyone knows, like in the European scene, everyone knows we're like a little group. So yeah, like I think it'd be a lot harder if I was in a different team, probably. But team is just easy. We'll just chill out.
No arguments over dirty dishes or
Oh well, I mean, there's been a few of them. But
who's the worst one in the house then? Come on,
Trey.
Is it Trey?
Oh no,
it's
Trey.
not even close. Not even close. Like I'm telling you, it's bad. Bad. It's bad.
These kids, man, they get a job like this when they're 18.
I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, but it is bad.
Oh man.
Everyone else is pretty good though. Like Matt's super clean. Probably go.
See, I would have thought it would have been Matt for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know, mate. You get the impression
Matt's
his
the
mom
complete opposite.
Yeah,
Matt's
his mom might have
cleanophobe.
kicked the shit out of him if
when
he was younger.
He's a cleanophobe. Like his room is literally spotless.
Bloody hell. I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that either.
No. Trey
No.
yeah.
Matt's super clean. Matt's probably the cleanest out of us all.
Oh, fair enough. See, I always found it very curious at Team House because the only time my experience with Team House was when I went to Champs with TCM and Envy, and I saw several bust ups from both teams there.
That's what I mean. I've always been of the same. Like I always thought it was a bad idea, but like it's like with this team, it's just like, well, I just can't see us ever like falling out. Like we've argued about like game shit. Because that's just what you're doing. You want to be the best team in the game. You're like fucking. What the fuck are you doing? You spastic or like. Yeah. But like, I don't know. We're just like, it's just a good group. It's a good group. So
in fairness, that's great because that fosters positive discussion and you get better, right? Like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
You can get past that and keep going forward. There is one more question I want to ask about the team house and stuff because it's something we covered in a previous episode of Spitfire. Team health and the way you guys are kind of like adjusting to. Some of you have lived alone before, some of you haven't. Like, is it been people starting to cook now? Are they eating right? Because it's very easy when you're in a forest. You're in America. It's not where you're normally from. It's very easy to get takeouts all the time. That sort of thing. Like,
well,
has it been okay?
No. but like to be fair, it only hasn't been okay because like we've been so like the first few like this first 2 months of the year has been hectic. Whereas we've been grinding every day because to make sure we get in the league. Mm-hmm. So like we'd be playing from 3 p.m. our time because we're obviously three hours behind or 2 hours behind or three, one or the other, behind the majority of teams. Yeah. So like we'd be starting like 2-3 p.m. every day, playing till fucking 9 p.m. and it's like can't fucking be bothered. I can't be bothered. And like obviously all we were focusing about was getting in the league. And like obviously we had Vegas, and then 2 of them went home for Christmas, or 3 of them went home for Christmas. Uh-huh. So I think it'll be a lot better now that we've qualified, especially for me. Well, I'll be cooking anyway. Like, it's bad, but
yeah, I can imagine so as well. Especially like it's something we talked about in that is that when you are in that sort of environment, especially
it's just so easy.
Want to play,
like you said,
you don't want to leave like, a half hour to cook something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's like, especially like you have your scrim set 3-6, so it's like. If you go fucking missing that scrim, the other team's gone. They're scrimming someone else. It's like too many teams. It's like like in Europe, we were high pristine, like fucking. We're scrimming red reserve. Everyone fucking be there. We could fucking take the piss for an hour, like, and everybody like, nah, we're scrimming red. We're not leaving. Blah blah blah. Over here, it's like, oh, we're scrimming red. We're fucking fuck these off. We're scrim envy. Like if we 10 minutes late, so it's like.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting culture shift, really, and more like just because there's so many more teams for you.
Yeah, there's just so many. That's what I mean. Like that's the whole reason for the move. Is like we wanted to be the best this year, so we needed everything, every resource possible.
So have teams in your division not been scrimming against each other now?
No, they still do because it's like
such a big pool, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, it's the same as last year. It's like because when you're at the event as well, you have a chance to scrim before the games, obviously, like at the studio. Mm-hmm. So you usually just don't play. Like what we did last year was don't play the teams you play that week. So you have 2 weeks of games. So the first week you'll play, say we play Optic, LG, Midnight. We wouldn't play them for the first week. We'd scrim, Rec, whatever the other teams are, Rec.
You or UEG are in your
So we'd scrim them instead of the other team, and then flip for when you play the next teams the next week.
Here's something I'm going to say, and I almost regret saying this. people were saying that when you move away, that Red League is killing the UK scene because there's no good teams to practice.
I said it when we first moved. I already know my answer.
Which is funny because only the teams that went to Vegas qualified. There are no other UK teams that qualified for the Pro League.
Wait, is that
It's still a European team though.
There's European teams, true.
It's a European scene.
But Heretics over time are both mainland Europe teams, which wouldn't have played that much anyway against the UK squads. Well, Heretics would have.
Heretics would have.
But no, Reciprocity and Reserve are the only UK teams to make it.
Just composure though. Swing got super unlucky to be fair, because even though we're like, alright, we're only shit because of our S&D. I'll throw that in before we get off the Red Reserve topic. Like our S&D is like abysmal at the moment. So it's like if we fix our S&D, we're going 2-0 up in the majority of series, and then the series is done. If we're 2-0 up going to the control, we're winning that series 90% of the time. So as soon as we fix our S&D, you'll see the proper Red Reserve. That's all I'm gonna say. And then that's the end of the Red Reserve topic. Yeah. But Sweden got unlucky because like even though we're like average at the moment, we still beat every single EU team. Like it's just a thing I have in my head. I do not lose to EU teams. Like as far as I play, I will not lose to EU teams until.
Which is interesting considering you're playing Reciprocity.
I won't lose. Well, I won't lose.
I think somebody on Twitter pointed out they're a multinational.
They're international. I got that in my Twitch chat, so that'll be my excuse if we do lose. Yeah, they're an international team. But like I don't know, it's just some like I don't know. I think it's something we've talked about before, right? Delusional confidence. Like, I just turn into a different person when I play EU teams. It's like my pride. Like I pride myself on like best they are in Europe. I'm not losing to this guy. There's just no way. And I feel like I don't know. It just happens. Just happens. Stay there. Just beat them. Team Sweden top 6. Yeah, in a bit. Bye. Goodbye.
Oh my God. I felt so bad for them, man.
Even like Heretics. Like we played Heretics at Vegas when we were actually shy, and we still bopped them 3-1 in a bit. Like I don't know. It's just. I think it's like everyone on my besides Joe probably because he just doesn't say a word, does he? Like everyone's on the same thing. Like we know we're the best players in Europe, so we just like against European teams, just like that extra. Like we need to set the tone. Like
we need to let them know.
Yeah, we need to like just fucking remind everyone what the fuck we were talking about. Like,
no, I get that. Right, let's move on then and talk about the divisions because they got all drawn just last week, and we kind of touched on them in the last one here. But we can talk about your specific group, Division A. I know you're in one of these groups, but we were discussing whether or not we thought A or B was more stacked.
I said our group's more stacked at the moment, but the longer the game goes on, I think B will be more stacked.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that, yeah.
So, like, the teams at the moment in A are better, but the longer it goes on, like, 100 Thieves are not going to stay shit, are they? Like, let's be fucking real.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? Like, Heretics will be decent, Envy, Splice, or something. Like, but I think at the moment, like, our group's probably slightly better. I think the longer, like in a month, 2 months, I think that group will be better.
What do you mean?
Especially when we get to our level, we will be fucking bopping these middle table teams. So, like, I think our group will end up being top stack heavy. Like, the top 4 will be the top 4.
Yeah, because you were in this group, and they famously your bogey team at the moment.
Yeah, they'll probably go 2-0 against us.
And what is it? What is it?
If I knew what it was, it wouldn't happen. It's literally absurd. They lost to Reedy 2 hours before they played us. Like, it's literally mind blowing. They literally turned into scump against me, and then everyone else is just like, oh, it's just fucking infuriating.
Yeah, that result coming out of the PLQ was not.
No, I didn't panic. I was like, yeah, probably we'll just beat EG. It's all good.
I had a little bit of a worry because I was like, they literally just.
It's literally absurd. It's literally absurd. It happens. I can't tell you. I don't know where it is.
Do you think they just have that confidence? Can you like since they've
beat
you
a
a few
few
times?
It is like
they're going into it like, we've done this before.
I mean, it could be anything from the way that Vito stack up to just matchups. It just could be a bit of a mismatch in terms of how they play.
I literally couldn't tell you. Like literally, it's just the one team. Like, cause everyone has that team. It's like we're that team for like it was Optic last year, or like that Ghost team. Like we beat them 6 events in a row, or whatever. It's like I don't know. It's just weird. just especially that day when they lost to Improve, I was like, yes, fucking let's go. Finally gonna fucking stick it on them, and then they just fucking destroy us. Like it's just like.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, the other interesting team in your group, I think, is probably Midnight Esports because they went into the PL. I mean, let's discuss the elephant in the room. Reedy said some very not nice things about this team, but they did go 6-0 in the PLQ.
Yeah,
which is something you can't really, hate on them for. They beat everybody.
100%. Yeah, fucking flawless in a bit. Thanks for the league spot.
Yeah. What do you think of this team? Obviously, like walking into because it's a new squad.
Like I said, I think at the moment they're probably really good.
Yeah.
So like they're probably just like fucking super good teamwork, fast paced together. I think the longer the game, like the month or 2 months, I think when everyone knows how to play the game fully, it's like World War II. Everyone got to a point where like everyone was doing the same thing. It was just who was the better team. So I think when this game gets to that point, I can't see that roster beating like us, for example. Like when everyone knows how to play the game, if you put rosters head to head. Yeah. So I think probably at the moment they probably just know how to play the game really well together, good teamwork. So they're probably really good.
Yeah. Do you think
the longer it goes on?
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you think that's a factor as to why maybe LP and Sween did as well at Vegas and then didn't do as well at the Pro League qualifier? That they just maybe grasped the game quicker, or do you think it was other things as well? Obviously, the confidence thing could have been something to do with it.
I think LP and Sween aren't in the same bracket because LP literally just fucking went 0-6, bopped out. Like it wasn't even close. Like Sween were literally. Like it was there. Like if they beat E6, they qualified.
I think they were saying.
Like I said, if they pulled anyone else in the loser bracket, I'll probably favour them. I'll literally probably favour them.
I would have 100% had them in the Mind Freak overtime game.
That's what I mean. Like that's
And Dylan said if they lost to overtime, they would have had an easier run.
Yeah, but you can't think that.
Yeah, I know.
You're always
like he had a choice at that point.
Like everyone talks about that, but no one's ever gonna actually throw a game for an easier bracket. You wouldn't risk it.
I think you just looked at one side of the bracket and it was like you, G2, Red, and then the other side was like FaZe, Mind Freak, overtime, and it was like.
Yeah, but they lost to Accelerate, so there's no excuse.
Very true.
Yeah,
very true.
That was their chance, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
If that was their chance, like, you got 3-0 bot by fastball and then fell into me, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I'll put you to the sword. Like it's not even a thing.
Like that was their chance. Like after they lost to E6, they beat whoever they beat in the first round of winners. They had Accelerate to qualify, and then
they lost to FaZe, which then put FaZe in third. And then if they had went and finished third in their pool, they would have had an easier run as well.
Right, they would exactly. That's another thing. Yeah. So like, they only have themselves to blame, but it's just unlucky.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the Sween and LP is like it's completely different situations because LP just fucking flopped.
Yeah, whereas should have actually got on the plane to the event.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Whereas Sween was still there, like they have every chance to qualify.
Yeah. Also in your group, your fellow UK team Reciprocity, who isn't that far away from you in Vegas at the moment here.
20 minutes.
Exactly, 20 minutes away. Have you was there even consideration of like a pre-land for anything going on, but which is now being kind of katoshed because I don't even think that's a real word. Because they're in your group, like you can't play them as much.
No, we wouldn't pre-land probably because like it's literally 20 minutes away. We just get Dom or Shane to host, and it's pretty much LAN for the most part. But no, like we've played them. We've played them every now and again.
That's fair. I suppose it would be difficult to have any.
And plus, their house is having 65 million issues at the moment. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Tom's always dropping.
It's bad. Like, I've heard Tom mention about moving or some shit. Like,
oh, really? Shit.
Well, he said if they could or something. So I don't know. Like it's bad. Like they're disconnected every 5 minutes. Like before the PLQ, they were having to play from like a hotel conference room or some shit.
Jesus.
Damn.
So yeah. So like. But no, it's not.
That's the issue, isn't it? With the big move like that, if something goes wrong, there's not a lot you can do.
Well, I was thinking it was gonna go wrong for us because it was just taking so long, and it was just so like. I was thinking, right, we're gonna turn up. There's gonna be 20 meg in there, and I'm just gonna lose full. Like to be fair, like ours has been pretty good. Like we moved in, big internet was ready, so it was pretty smooth.
I have a question about the house. I know it's going back a bit. In a Reciprocity video, they kind of mentioned how they all kind of chose their rooms and stuff. What happened with the Red then? Who kind of got first dibs in the red squad.
When we I don't know if you remember, but last year after Anaheim, we stayed in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I nearly ended up there with my flight plan.
I took the master then. Like I just said, I'm having the master. Like I run the team. Like this is my team. I'm having the master. And so like out of just pure like being nice, I was like, I won't take the master. Like you can all I'll just took you on. And then Matt just said dibs. Like so Matt got the Apple master. Matt just called dibs. Matt just said right.
Let him, if he keeps putting up those sort of numbers, you have to let him.
Wait a minute. Didn't Watkins do the same thing in the Reciprocity House? He has the master in their house.
Yeah,
the Marshall brothers get top billing wherever they go.
But yeah, I would have took the master. But I'll just be nice, you know. I don't want to keep taking the night.
If he's going to drop a 1.44, he can keep it. Like.
I'll polish his room as well. I could clean his clothes, but and then he was like. And then we were all right. I'll tell you the story. This is a story time right here. And then we're all in a call, right? We get linked the house like this being bought, right? Because there was obviously like fucking 6 different houses that we were looking at. Right, this is the one you're having. It's being paid for. Bloody blah. I'm sat mid foot champs game, and then everyone's like gets up the house and thinks right, everyone pick their rooms now. I'm like whoa! I'm in a game and everyone's like thinking right, I'll have room 3, I'll have room 4. There's no point doing this because as soon as I get out of this game, I'm just picking what room I want. and they were all set.
Finesses in and
yeah, trust me, like I'm playing foot champs is no joke. That is blood, sweat, and tears. So I'm like, everyone's like calling dibs on their room, and then everyone's picked their room, and then I'm just sat there like, I'm not having the last room wherever you've all left me.
So
I'm like, you may as well all stop because as soon as this game finishes, I'm taking whatever room I want. And then the game finishes. I go and take the room, and of course, it's fucking Trey's room that he's picked. But so yeah, I took that room obviously because yeah, I give up the master. I get to pick. I get to pick what room I want. I run the
I'll
team
be first, but I want to be second.
This is my team. But then like it was just like Trey got a pick. Joe pretty much picked the what room he wanted and kept it because he obviously wasn't ungrateful in picking, but. And then Ben and Dom just have, but like they were both just not really care. Well, for whatever's left.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So yeah, but yeah, I nearly got robbed mid-foot champs game. They all think they can start picking rooms.
Catching you off guard.
Yeah, trust me.
Let's talk into what I'm dubbing secret roster mania at the moment. This whole thing about substitutions and people looking to angle themselves, or some teams, I should say, looking to angle themselves. Or potential pickups later on in the year to improve what may be either a mediocre team or a team they still think is underperforming. I've already heard some rumors, as I'm sure you have. Not that we can discuss them here.
I will discuss them.
I can't say anything about the rumors going on.
Well, I'll say about it. You ask me the questions, and I'll tell you the rumors.
All right, fine. What have you heard then, Raid? What have you heard?
Well, I won't say team specifics then. I'll just say players.
Yeah.
Well, you had one team try picking up Decimate, and then G2 said, "Yeah, okay, we'll ask for 250k."
Holy shit!
So, as you can imagine, that went whoop.
Holy.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
250k.
Yeah,
that's 2.5 Mighty Marshalls, isn't it?
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I don't know about anymore. Someone comes asking for Matty Marshall, I'll be asking for a nice price.
Jesus. Like I know prices have gone through the roof, but that is.
What I will say is Decimate was probably the best player on G2. Him or Lacefield. Decimate did play.
Yeah, but still, I'm not paying 250k. Fuck that, no chance. Absolutely no chance. So yeah, like one team tried getting him, it was 250. Apparently, someone's picked up Priester. Apparently, Priester's on a team.
That doesn't surprise me.
I actually don't know which team it is.
But here's the thing.
They would have had to pay some shit ton of money though. So
I'm going to presume it'd be Thieves.
Did I not see Deserto tweet out something about that potentially being Optic? I mean, it could be complete bollocks, but we will find.
Why waste your money? They can pick up anybody they want. They're not going to change.
Well, they could just be trying to kill the competition. Yeah, fucking come sit on our bench. We'll pay you fucking 15k.
Let me look at our favourite thingy while we continue on, because I've heard.
I don't actually know what team it is. I haven't heard what team it is, but apparently Zuma said on a stream or something that Brice is on a team or some shit.
Okay, interesting. I've heard some European players have been at least approached.
Dylan Codd's on a team, and it's not my team. I'll tell you that.
Yes, that's the one I heard earlier on.
All right.
Well, he's not on a team. He's on someone's bench.
Yeah,
He's not is he on somebody's bench where he can make an impact of it though? Is he going to be potentially put into it?
Sorry. So it's not Priester. It's not Priester who've been rumored to go to Optic. It's Zuma.
Oh.
See, that would cost them a lot as well, though. When I just Zuma say that like the content side, like because he's a good personality, that sort of thing. But I don't see why they'd need him for the amount of money that it would cost. I think
here's my thought on that move. If it's a real move, here's why it would happen. If you're FaZe, you've just found out that your, what I heard, quite high salary team has not made the Pro League, and you are still contracted to pay them.
No, because in the majority of contracts it says if. Well, I know it says it in ours.
Yeah, but didn't that FaZe team sign up like a year ago for like a 2-year deal?
That was them 2 months ago. But in the contract it says if you don't qualify for the league, we can cut your salary by X amount or. We start paying you X amount.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I mean, I don't know if it says it in their contract, but I would assume
it might not because they're from what I understand, there's a quite long-running contracts. Like,
everyone's around the same, like 2 years, 3 years. Like
maybe. I mean, but even then, like,
it's just unless the org literally doesn't care, it's just security for the org. Like, I would assume in the majority of the contracts it says if you don't qualify for the league, there's some sort of penalty. But like I said, it might not be. So I just speak from experience.
Yeah. So, I mean, but also, like, he has got a great personality. It'd be great to see him kind of go over to Optic and be on their bench. And
I think it's just a waste for him, though. I feel like I can't see him ever being on that team. Who do they drop? TJ or Scump?
Never going to happen.
That's what
I mean. Like, the majority of teams at the top are just making a sub just to have somebody there just in case.
Well, yeah, like our sub. Well, when's this video going to be going?
Wednesday.
Oh, well, that's fine, right? Our sub is Shocked, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had that.
So, but like our sub is not going to be like someone like we're having just like to come into the team. It's like if we want to make a roster change, we'll just fucking buy someone.
Yeah, he's there in case of the.
He's just there like fucking
last year,
Joe. Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like Joe gets hit by a bus tomorrow. We need a player for a few weeks. You know what I mean? Like Joe's repairing his arm or like it's just like emergency. Like who knows? Like Shocks might end up on the team. Like, but like if we were to make a roster change halfway through the year, it wouldn't be our sub that was the immediate like that's who we're getting. We'd look at and just buy a player if someone was better.
I was curious whether a majority of teams would pick up a sub, and I think.
Well, you have to. You have to. Yeah, you have to.
I mean, like a legitimate.
Oh well, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. When they were first saying, I was like, just get swapped. Like, we're never going to use the sub anyway.
Yeah. And I was very curious as to what teams, because if you look at like who's in there at the moment, there are a few teams that could certainly do with at least the option of having a good extra player, even if it's just to keep the rest of the players in line, saying, you know what, we can swap you out if you are going to be an asshole.
What's funny about it is like we've always trolled Ben. Like, we just get Shocks. We wish we could get Shocks. Like, if Shocks wasn't in uni this year, you're lucky you wouldn't even be on the team. And no, it just happens to be the Shocks is on the bench whilst everyone's roasting Ben.
Oh, poor Ben.
So yeah, we're gonna troll him a bit.
Yeah, the only two teams that like aren't going to pick up one of the pro players that have fallen by the wayside are probably like Heretics in Overtime because of the language barrier.
Because of that, aren't they? Because like they can't really make it. They made a change within Spain, but like, who do you pick up?
They have less of a talent pool.
Like I say, for the majority of teams, like I would think it's just like emergency situation.
Yeah, but the teams who did struggle,
like. That's what I mean. That's why I was like, when like the whole decimated situation of the team. I'm pretty sure it was just I don't know if it was to be on the main team or a sub. As soon as you get 250k, you're just like, there's just no chance.
Yeah.
That'll be the same with most people, I would assume. Like with the Zuma thing.
I know people are chomping at the bit for 100 Thieves to pick up someone good. Like,
I think they will.
As far as the 100 Thieves fans are concerned, that team either needs a.
The thing is, I don't think one change fixes them.
No. I think. Do you think it helps though? Like for now, because that's all they can do.
I think you want that player now because then when it comes to roster mania, at least you already have that player and you don't have to get 2. You only have to get 1 then after that.
Yeah.
And you'd have that benefit of being able to kind of sub somebody out and go, right, well, we can trade these away or whatever. I think now is the time for them to pick up a good player because you may not be there when it comes to roster mania. You may not be able to get who you want. This is a very unique situation in the history of Call of Duty Esports. No other time has there been this option of players just laying around, laying around doing nothing, who are good enough to be, and probably better than players on your team.
Oh yeah, Brice is probably better than majority of players on majority of teams.
Yeah,
but just like, so weird. Like, do you push someone on your current team straight on the bench before the league starts? Is the situation I think they're in.
It also doesn't help that it's still becoming more of a shift towards like more managers and coaches are getting involved in picking teams now as well. I have noticed, like speaking to some players, like it used to be. You go back 2 years. I'm sure your team.
My team's I'll pick my team, but like I don't know how it works.
But it is. If you go back 2 years, that wouldn't even factor into a decision. Yeah, it's literally straight players. Now, because of the amount of money involved, like managers, owners, and coaches are significantly more involved in that conversation because they know they need to make this money back. They know that they don't want, friendship groups don't always work.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's going to be very interesting to see how this kind of gets to play. And we're going to see teams that don't like each other as much. And we're going to see, people fill up their subs. It wouldn't even surprise me to see maybe a team pick up 2 subs at some point if they can afford it and get them for the right price. Well, you could technically contract a player, but just not have him on the and just have him waiting. Yeah, and that way, you have that player, the exposure and stuff. And worst comes to worst, you say, look, this player's already contracted to us. If we need him, we need him. That sort of thing. And then when it comes to roster mania, you need to switch in they go, and you've got 2 players to bargain away. I think it'd be very interesting to see who picks up who here. It is, of course, another question of money. If you don't need a sub that much, then you're going to pick up somebody of a lower quality. If you do need a sub, then you do get a chance to pick up a bargain, very good player at the moment. But there's probably like 3 that people are mainly looking at. I want to say Brice is definitely number 1 on that list.
Yeah.
I think Dylan Codd's got a lot of, from what I heard, he's been approached. I
don't think he's that sorted, is he?
Well, yeah, he's on someone's bench where like I'm talking like NA teams wouldn't look at him. Oh, I just pretty much fucking told you.
Like there's a few people like who could very easily be great prospects. I'm worried to see how teams approach it because it is a money thing. That player will not be getting as much money. He will not be as valuable if he goes in because I don't think many teams, or if any team, would really change their team before they head into the Pro League because they made the Pro League. The vibes would be absolutely killer if you did that.
I suppose though, if you're one of these players,
you're a maniac.
I suppose if you're one of these players who didn't make it though, at least it's something because like a lot of these guys aren't getting anything. Like they are
that's
unemployed.
You literally, like I said, you're done till August.
Mm-hmm.
Or so, even longer. Like
I imagine going on a sub bench at least like sort of gives you something. I'd imagine. So I mean, it
just gives you something just in case, like just in case.
And then you get your chance potentially. If you do get your chance, you take it. You never know what happens. And I think the thing is for players like Dylan, he's got his career ahead of him. I would say he's got.
He's only just turned 18, is he not? Exactly. Or 19 or whatever
it's not
it is.
the end of the world for him, but like he already made a really good impression, I think, and I think he'll be absolutely fine as the years go on. But glad to hear he's sorted either way because I did feel bad on him because I think a lot of people sort of did big him up. And then a lot of people sort of said, well, if he was in one of these top teams, would he look as good? That's the question. But I still think he played really well, and I think it'll be interesting to see how he does.
It's just a shit comment to make by anyone.
Yeah.
If he's in a top team, would he look as good?
No.
Or does he lose his gun skill?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think
playing with better players. It's the same. Everyone said that with Matt last year when we picked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's getting all these kills on Unilad. If he joins us, with how many kills? Like, obviously, he didn't get that many kills, but like.
You can still tell he was every bit as good.
He still has the gun skill and game sense. You just have better players around you that you don't have to get that many kills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are coming towards the end of this now. There's one last question I want to ask you, but I don't know if it'll be a big one here. one of the surprise qualifiers for the PLQ was Team Overtime. Which is pretty much our reaction, because I don't think anybody had them making out groups.
Insane.
Well, have you played much of this team? Have you been exposed
Never played them? Like I said, we moved. Like the only amateur team we played was Heretics.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be like the biggest surprise ever in Call of Duty.
I think you look at like what a couple of people are saying was that there hasn't been an opportunity to watch their VODs, that sort of thing, so they caught people off guard. I think that can't be that much of a factor, though. You still
like a load of teams had that advantage.
Yeah,
like nearly like probably 75% of the teams had that advantage. The only teams you could probably watch VOD on was us, Sween, LP, Spacey's team, and that's probably about it. Like a few extra teams like Mind Freak, maybe a little bit, like Parasite's team, but like 75% of the teams, maybe more at that PLQ, you couldn't watch VODs on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's not an excuse.
And
and
the thing is, they didn't even do that great in Open. Like I think they went out.
Yeah, they got like top 28 or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
They even might have just scraped the last spot with top 32 or something. That was the same with E6. E6 got top 32 and then top the fucking.
I'll check what Brice asked you.
But yeah, like I don't know, that Zig's been gassed for a few years though.
Risk.
Like my issue was I put most of the French scene to bed. Like it was the French scene in my mind kept going down, and the amount of players you could reliably say, "Oh, this is a good player," were getting less and less.
Well, yeah, that Zeke is literally like since I started playing, everyone's been gassed. I don't know if he's like just turned 18 or. Like
I think that was a part of it.
What's been the hold up? But like everyone was saying that Zeke has been was really, really, really good since I started playing. Like all the French people, like our team had got to go for ages, didn't I? And bloody Zeke was always like gassed to be really good, and he's probably their best player, was he?
So they finished top 28 at Vegas.
Top 20.
Oh, top 28. Top 28.
Oh, 28, right? Yeah, I was right.
Yeah. But they, I mean, I always sort of kept an eye on them in the open bracket because I knew of them, like just from
like that Brice and what's that other kid called? Yeah, like they were in them World War II rank play lobbies constantly last year. So like, I can see where they can make the an upset, but like actually qualifying is.
Yeah,
it's impressive. It's fair play to them.
What I will say is that I think you look at that group, and there were some gross underperformers in there, which I don't want to take anything away from overtime. But you've got like Team Space underperformed. Pittsburgh Knights didn't make it; they underperformed.
Who did they actually beat?
They beat Thieves, I'm sure.
And then what? They beat Spacey. Yeah, they beat Spacey 3-9.
But then in bracket, they
both surprising.
In bracket, they lost. They got third place in their bracket, in their pool, so they got the bye. They lost straight away to Team Sween, but then they beat FaZe, then beat Mindfreak.
Jesus, man.
So
Sween just hold L's, man. That is the most L holding team.
That's such a
It's that Accelerate game. That was their game. That was it. Like they had 5 games. Everyone was saying, but they lost to Splice, who they should have lost to at Vegas. They lost to LGU. They should be losing to at Vegas. Yep. So that's 2 games that were really not really qualifying games because they were heavily out.
Yeah, those are the hard games. Yeah,
and then E6 is like a game they probably should have won.
If they play the E6 at Vegas, then they win that. But the E6 looks so much better.
Yeah,
Frosty seems to be coming into it a little bit.
That Accelerate game was the one. That was the one game out of all 5 games, us being the last game to qualify.
Yeah. I didn't even
Accelerate
see
game
it,
was.
Yeah.
Apparently wasn't close.
Yeah, because I was commentating your game against G2.
Apparently it was just 3-0, quick, bush, bash, gone. We finished our G2 game and I was like, right, we play Accelerate to qualify. Yeah. Then someone said to me Accelerate 3-0 and I was like, you fucking excuse me.
It was one of those things where Accelerate, I was watching, because Fact were playing them and I was watching them in between games. And they only beat Fact 3-2. And that's no disrespect to Fact, but
you expect pretty good at the qualifier. Yeah, they didn't look bad.
But at the same time, you expect Sweden.
What I think it would be is, like, if I was to think of both teams, they would probably want to play similar maps. Like if I was like to think,
isn't it?
Yeah, frequencies and they probably lost their vetoes, to be honest. Probably like, yeah, we're better than this team. Just fucking play them on frequency. We'll just beat them. You need to like go into it thinking like play the other team's worst maps over your best maps. Yeah. Unless it's like a fucking completely like you're gonna win.
I think when I was speaking to Brian and Austin, they just said that they were just flying at them with SMGs. Fastballer was on like 10 cents and just spinning and it's snapping onto people. And
exactly, and then you just put them on an Hacienda or an Arsenal or even a Gridlock.
They just got fried. Couldn't really do much. They were just flying at them.
But that's,
so I would assume they probably lost their vetoes, to be honest.
Yeah. That's what I like. I've always said I love VOs. I always thought it adds something extra the teams would have to.
100% more competitive with VOs.
Did Reedy not try to argue against VOs?
Yeah, I wouldn't entertain. I wasn't entertaining Reedy last week.
No, nobody can say anything that makes the game more competitive with a random map gen.
Yeah.
A team could literally random map gen their 5 best maps, and the other teams lost the series.
Yeah. That's always been my argument. Like, yeah, that's why I wouldn't even entertain it last week.
Like a team could get their 5 best, the other team could get their 5 worst, and that series automatically void.
Yeah. Do you know what I hate most about the VO argument is that one argument they always go, well, teams should be good at all maps. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. Teams are going to be naturally better at different maps just because of their team.
Yeah, that always irritates me.
No, it's just.
All right, we're coming right towards the end now. So my last question for you, Ed, before we move on to the quick questions from the community. Preparations now moving forward after the PLQ for your team. What are the plans? Is there stuff you've got to work on specifically other than the mistakes you've already mentioned?
S&D. So as soon as we fix our S&D, we'll literally be dirty. So just playing a lot of S&D, just getting into a lot of S&D situations. If we fix our S&D before the Pro League, then we'll be the team we should be looking like.
Hopefully not situations where you're 0-7 and having to pick up 3 kills in the last round, Eric.
I was just teasing the community. I had you all on the edge of your seats. Yeah, exactly. I had you all on the edge of the seats, and then round 11, I just said to my team, boys, I've been trolling you. Just sit back, spread the map. I'll kill this guy with a Tempest.
Yeah, that was.
I can't believe they stopped specking me. I literally, they went off me for 1 second, and it was literally disgusting. It was literally the most filthy shot I've probably ever hit. It was literally disgusting.
We went to you as soon as.
No, it was better than that. It was literally filthy. Oh, it was so dirty.
Did you not jump on the theater after see if you could grab it?
No, you can't because it's on system link, so it's not there. But like. When I killed him, I saw his Tempest charging up. So I was literally probably about 0.5 seconds away from not being in the league. Because I had flat jacket on as well because I called he had a war machine. So I would have been down for about 15 seconds. It was absolutely dirty. But yeah.
It's just little things like that. And like you die, they've got Tempest, you don't kill.
Yeah. Well, I don't get Annihilator. They have war machine, grab spike.
Bloody hell.
But yeah, I think if... Just fix our S&D, and then our respawn's already dirty. We're fine.
Fortunately, for questions of the community, there's not a lot that we haven't already covered. One team is asking your thoughts on Heretics. That's from C. Raxa.
They're just a really good team. Really good gun skill.
I think we got a good example of that from that final round when they qualified. That was when Metals took them off that head glitch. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're just like
ridiculous.
a super, super fast-paced team with good gun skill, good teamwork. They're a good team.
Yeah, I like them. I think it's good for them to be in the league as well. It's good for the league.
100%. Yeah. Good viewers. They're bringing the viewers. 100%.
Yeah, it's gonna be great to see them. Next question is: can anyone else give us any more intel on CWL UK yet? Unfortunately, we can't. Although a few people know it, and it's not a very well kept secret. No. It is still a secret.
Heavily rumored to be London. That's all.
Heavily rumored to the point where some of the CWL talent accidentally said it on stream. But you know what? It's nothing we can confirm. The only thing I could probably say is, hey, get an educated guess, and you're not going to be far wrong. That's about it. Other than that, someone wants to talk about Dylan Codd. Do you think he'll get picked up by a big NA team? We've already kind of covered that. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. So, Ray, thank you so much. Yeah.
That is the difficulty when we're pre-recording. Apologies.
Yeah, because we're fitting around Rated because we wanted to get him on.
Yeah. As long as this, I come on whenever. As long as this. As long as it's, I don't care. As long as
there's
it's
no
all
dickheads.
scrims.
Well, I think we were before. So the best thing about Spitfire at the moment is that I've realised that because of the way the North Americans scrim from about 6 o'clock your time or 3 where you are.
Well, yeah, it'll work because I can
yeah.
just go on 12-1 or whatever.
Yeah, Spitfire's always before it, so it does mean we can get the opportunity to jump on. But any final things you want to shout out, Rated, depending on what you're doing at the moment and stuff, and even stream, Twitter, whatever.
Well, yeah, I'll be streaming a lot more actually. I bought a new PC, as you've probably all seen on the timeline, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's literally
RGB. Is it RGB, perchance?
Yeah, it's literally like
I see it glowing off his head.
It's like I told the guy who was building it, just give me lights. I want a lot of lights. But yeah, I'll be streaming a lot more. Twitch.tv/rated. I'll be streaming scrims and stuff.
And probably a bit of FIFA now.
No, everyone keeps saying this. Get off FIFA. I haven't played FIFA this year at all.
I thought it would be easy in America. I thought it would be tough.
Well, no, I know, but I haven't had time. Like, I need to qualify for the league. Like, people get off FIFA, you'll be better. Get off FIFA, you'll be meaning. I haven't even been playing FIFA. You shut the fuck up.
Just league.
No, I haven't played League either. Because I couldn't change my region. That's probably the only reason why I haven't played League.
I can't even bring myself to download it again. That's a hole I don't want to go down.
I'm so like. Do you see that clip I tweeted yesterday of CS:GO? Oh,
I seen you too, but I didn't watch
it. But yeah, I'll be streaming scrims and stuff. Like we weren't streaming for obvious reasons, like PLQ. We needed to make sure we got into the league before we could even risk any of that shit. Yeah. So streams will be a lot more regular now from probably the majority of us, besides Joe, because he just doesn't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of what a lot of players doing now is like streaming Blackout right up until.
Oh yeah, me and Matt been playing Wages yesterday and stuff like.
Yeah, that's always fun.
What's going on with Maven picking up like 20 kills a game? He's a beast.
He was frying yesterday. I give it to him. Me and Maven clutched out a game. It was probably the most fun I've had playing a game in probably years. Like literally playing COD. Like it was good.
Blackout has brought that back a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it was literally the most fun I had playing COD literally in years.
We are actually doing a Blackout only one at some point, like COD Spitfire, because I think there's so much to talk about Blackout wise.
It's just an excuse to get Swan on, man.
Yeah, we're gonna drag Swanee on the bloody.
Because he's like, I keep asking him to come on. He's like, no, I don't know anything about the competitive.
I don't know anything.
We're just come on, we'll get you on. We'll talk about Blackout then, pal. It's fine.
All right, awesome. Tunn, anything from you? I know there's always some stuff in the background.
Not much today. I mean, realistically, as said, follow the YouTube guys as well. Follow the Twitch, because obviously I'm going to be re-streaming this on Wednesday. Giveaways and everything is coming next month. Anybody who wants to come on, like I know there was a few complaints from people saying, oh, well, Reedy's been on loads of times, but at the end of the day, we have to sort of just, we want an episode each week, and we go to our friends who are well known in the community if we can't find people, because a lot of people, unlike Reese, who is very, very willing to come on, there's a lot of people who don't want to come on because they don't want to give it the free time, which is fine. Like, that's understandable. It's hard to say to somebody, come and sacrifice an hour and 20 minutes of your night for the sake of talking shit about COD with people. It's difficult for us to do that. But so if there's anybody out there who wants to come on, who is obviously of relevance within the community, we will bring you on. If somebody different, that's okay. Just let me know. And as said to the community, apologies if you feel like the standard of guest isn't to the highest, but I can't just be disappointed.
Oh, it's not been this episode.
Exactly.
I'm the king of Europe, baby.
He's a star guest.
I'll run this show. There's no fucking wrong with this episode.
But as said, like guys, we're trying our best. Obviously, we got Brice on. We'll keep it up if we can. But obviously, as said, we get who's available at the time.
We said it. And all right, last one thing from me. I'm going to try something new this week that I haven't actually told Tunn about.
Oh, God.
If you are watching this on the VOD, I would like to revisit comments in future episodes. So make sure you leave a comment if you're watching on the EGL YouTube channel, and we will kind of bring it up in the next Spitfire if I think it's relevant or if I think you deserve a little bit of a shout out. All right, that's pretty much all from me. I'll be streaming as usual when I play Blackout badly. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.